to
Mhm.
lead a change situation, what do
Yeah.
you think I need to kind of, just as a general rule, because I know you would look at each individual and say, okay, you're weak here, you're weak there.
Yeah.
But as a general rule, general,
Yeah.
gross rule, what needs to be changed?
I think as a leader, you're as a parent, teacher, again, you're always looking for opportunities to improve the current situation. So, with that in mind, you're always thinking about and trying to identify what changes would help improve the process, the way we do things, our procedures. What changes could people make to be more efficient, more effective in their day-to-day work? So it's a headset or a mental model that the leader has of always looking at things that way. They're not happy with the status quo. They want to find a way to make things better. As a parent, we want that with our kids. We're trying to help them grow and develop. As a team leader, we're trying to help the team be more efficient and productive. Every coach I know is trying to help the team perform better and win more games. It's just part of what a leader does. But one thing there is I found some leaders, they identify 12 things that we need to work on to improve. And again, that's 12 changes and it's too much.
Yeah,
People can't absorb that. It's like saying to your kid, here's 12 things you need to start doing differently. And they're looking at you like, what are you, crazy? You got to pinpoint one or two changes that would
there
have
you
the
go.
biggest impact.
Totally agree.
We just don't have the capacity, time, energy, money, resources to do more than one or two things that will move the needle and help the group perform at a higher level.
Totally agree with that. Totally
Yeah.
agree with that. Oftentimes we as leaders want too much. We take on too much. We try to
Yeah.
say, not, we don't want too much. We expect too much, forgetting the human condition. Yeah, we don't know what you could achieve, but we do know that you can only focus on one thing at a time.
Hmm.
Multitasking is not a good thing, and especially when it comes to this type of situations. But I would like for you to just to put it in a concise statement for me. Makes a great leader.
I think someone that, first of all, can diagnose the current situation. And that's one skill that's not talked about too often, but it's like a doctor. A good doctor is able to diagnose the patient and they're able
Mm,
to identify the right measurements, the tests, the right information, but they're able to diagnose what's the current state of affairs, what's currently going on. And I think a good leader can look at his or her team or department or organization for that matter and diagnose what do they do well, what are some problem areas, what are their strengths, weaknesses, what do the numbers tell us, what's working well. So that's number one. They got to diagnose what's happening. And then number two is what we were just talking about. How do you identify the best opportunities to pursue? What are the one or two big opportunities that you can pursue that would make a big difference in the operation of your team or organization? Number three is how do you as a leader present that? How do you make your case? You got to be compelling. You got to be convincing. You have to have passion for your idea. And then number four is how do you then plan and implement whatever change you're going to put in place? To me,
wow.
those four things are really important and necessary and needed to be an effective leader. And I think leadership is a process. And I think those are the four steps that you got to take to make it happen.
You know,
Diagnose. Yeah.
yeah.